Nintendo's E3 conference is only going to be in a few days' time, but one thing that we do know is going to appear for certain is the new Super Smash Bros. Game for the Nintendo Switch, since it seems to be the one that everyone's talking about the most, and we've actually seen it officially in a few schedules. So, much like we did with Smash 4 back in the day, here are 55 more Smash characters that could appear in Super Smash Bros. For the Switch. I don't expect all of these characters to appear in the game because that would be just ridiculous, but I do think it's nice to speculate for how things have changed with the times, being the difference with when Wii U games were a thing and now these new Switch games and IPs exist, and where things could go in the future. Now this list is for the most part in no specific order, but I have got 4 different categories to go into that would help break down this list. Never mind, I've actually got 5. The first one is upcoming games. These are games that we didn't know existed when Smash 4 was coming out, so they're very much going to be inspired by these new IPs or just new games coming out. It's possible, but that's our thoughts. The second category is new games, games that are fairly recent and didn't exist when Smash 4 was a thing. These are games and characters that we weren't able to see for Smash 4 because they simply didn't exist when Smash 4 was about. Category number 3 is characters expanded. There are all sorts of franchise and series that are represented by the Super Smash Bros. Brand, and this is where certain characters can be expanded and their franchise exposed even more. Category number 4 is new series. While we have seen many new characters appear from new franchises like Mega Man, even though that's a third-party series if you want to call it that, this is other recommendations for new series that could be introduced to Nintendo, whether it is a Nintendo series or a third IP. We'll see it later on in this video. And the final category, why not? The things that I thought of as a random idea, don't expect them to show up, but hey, it's nice to speculate. Anyway, that's all our categories. Let's go back to the beginning with the upcoming games. Number 1 comes from Mario Tennis Aces, expanding the Mario franchise just a little bit more. It's the one that everyone always talks about every time there's a Smash speculation video going up. It is Waluigi. He appears in every single sports and party game, so why not give him some actual sports-relevant movesets? Alternatively, you could do the exact same thing for Daisy. She again appears in all of the sports and party games, but doesn't really get represented in anything else. This is the perfect opportunity to give them some more limelight footage, and even though they do both appear in trophy form and Smash trophy thing, assist trophy, that's the one, Mario Tennis Aces also gives us a new costume design, especially for Waluigi and his little cap bandana thing. His new hair could be a new way to sort of introduce him in a way that doesn't just make him some sort of Wario clone. Number 3 and 4 come from the new upcoming game by Monolith Soft, Square Enix, Octopath Traveler. There are 8 new characters that have been brought to the Nintendo Switch, and any 1 or 2 of them could appear in the next Smash Bros. Game. I personally just ended up listing Tressa and Alphin because they seem like a nice diversity from the rest of the roster. We don't want another sword fighting guy again, do we? Though we don't know a lot about their actual character, the fact that they are in a new game and they do have new mechanics, they are from an RPG, so they're clearly going to know how to fight, and they each have their own exterior abilities like alluring and taunting and bartering, that kind of thing. It could be something that could apply to the Smash Bros. Games and movesets. Plus, their Smash attack could also work with incorporating the other 7 characters, if it's only 1 of them. If there's 2 of them, there's 6 other characters. But you know what I mean. All 8 of the Octopath could appear for their Smash attack. It's an idea. Number 5 doesn't even have a specific character labeled, but it is the Generation 8 starter, one of the 9 possible selections, I guess, from the new Pokemon Switch game. This game hasn't even been shown in any format, it's only been announced twice. Coming out at the end of this year, we may be seeing more of it in the future, and by the time Smash 5 actually comes out, there's a very good chance it will exist and we'll know what's going on. So one of those starters, or its evolved form later, could be replacing Greninja or being an extra expansion of that kind of trend. Up next is the upcoming Kirby Star Allies. This one is a bit of a weird one for me, but I actually listed another 2 characters. The first one being the generic kind of Waddle Dee enemy that we have seen through all of the Kirby games and seemingly getting more and more attention as they are a playable character in the upcoming Kirby game and has been for a few times now. Alternatively, the game also has Kirby taking on or controlling the other characters that are appearing in the Kirby series. So perhaps a random one of those will pop up since Waddle Dee might be a little bit too generic and clonesy. Number 8 is Detective Pikachu from Detective Pikachu. If I'm honest, I highly doubt they'll actually become their own character, but it could work as a skin design. In fact, I'm almost certain it will be. Could also go in with the whole Let's Go Pikachu gaming costume changes. Number 9 is a Fire Emblem character, because we didn't get enough of those from Smash 4, but there is a Fire Emblem game coming out for the Nintendo Switch, or at least I believe there is. So, one of those new guys, some protagonist somewhere, I'm sure his name will be called Bartholomew. Yeah, that's the one. They'll be showing up in the next Smash game. Bartholomew. Is that what I said the first time? Oh well. And I originally had 2 more characters for the upcoming game section, but it turns out that also goes into the new series section, so I'll give a little bit of a wait and make that a bit more tense, I guess, for waiting for. Let's move on to our next category, basically. We're going on to new games. The games that are out now, but are relatively new, and weren't available during the Smash 4 timeline. Time period, not really timeline. First things first, the recently debated one, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We got some Xenoblade Chronicles 1 coverage from the last game in the form of Shulk, and he may reappear in this next game, but there's also a good chance that one of the characters from the sequel will also make an appearance. I imagine they'll only work as a one-character duo rather than a duo-character duo, even though there are a whole running theme of blades and drivers, but 3 characters I have listed up that could appear would be Rex, Pyra, or Mythra. Rex being the main protagonist from the actual game, Pyra being still a main character but the weapon that Rex uses, and Mythra being pretty much the same thing. Alternatively, we may even get a character from Xenoblade Chronicles X, because that's not complicated at all. Not quite certain how that would work or who they would choose, but I'm expecting some more Xenoblade coverage. Number 13 is from Super Mario Odyssey. It's a bit of a weird choice, but Pauline. We're at least going to get some kind of Super Mario Odyssey representation, considering how big the game actually is, and it may just be in the format of sounds, music, and location, but since Mario's already in the game, and I don't think he's gonna get a whole new moveset, maybe an extra skin with Cappy at most, if there is gonna be any kind of character representation from that game, it would be in the form of Pauline, or at least I sort of hope so. It'd be cool as well, since we see plenty of more girl coverage going on with, you know, Peach, Daisy, Rosalina, and everyone else, so why not Pauline as well? And Daisy. Number 14, coming from Splatoon 2, it's not the Inklings, because we already saw the Inklings, it's the Octolings. Whether they'll be a similar clone or just simply a skin type, I'm expecting to see Octolings covered in some format in the new Smash game. There's not really much else I can say to that, as I imagine their movesets would be pretty much identical to the Inklings, maybe changing up the weapons they have to expand the arsenal of what they've got, but otherwise, it's a thought. Number 15, coming from Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, it's kind of expected at this point, if I must be honest. It's kind of third party, but I'll accept it anyway. It's Rabbid Peach. It could be any of the other Rabbid characters, but I'm expecting to see a Rabbid in some form in the new Super Smash Bros. Game. Rabbid Peach seems to be the one with the most personality, and did seem to be a fan favourite through most people that played, and it's just a fun character to play as. After having such a sweet and innocent Princess Peach on the field, even though she's killing people with tennis rackets, it'd be nice to have a bit more of a sassy, over-the-top Rabbid Peach version that's attacking everyone with phones and selfies. What has Smash Brothers become? Another one that can be very much expected for slots 16, 17, and 18 on this list is a character from ARMS. Pretty much came out straight after Smash 4, I think, or they just missed the mark entirely on that. This could be in the form of one of the main 2 protagonists, or I guess main characters only, they're not really protagonists, Spring Man or Ribbon Girl. These are your classic go-to basic character designs for an ARMS-based character. There'd be a lot more long range with their obviously springy arms, and potentially a little bit of customization with the actual weapons they've got. And of course they could be alternative skins of each other. And as a second character that could come from that franchise, we could get the Master Mummy, the generic evil Ganondorfian type of character. Maybe this one's a lot more slower and heavier. Again, pretty much Ganondorfian. Number 19, and it's a bit of a weird option, is a character from Sonic Forces, and I'm not talking about Tails or anyone like that, I'm talking about the customizable character instead. Classic Sonic may not very much work, because I doubt he'd accept him taking damage or doing damage by just jumping on characters, that seems a bit weird, but having the basic customizable Sonic character could be pretty interesting, since its whole mechanic is having a kind of grappling hook and that kind of thing. Not certain exactly how it would work, but it could be a nice way to expand that Sonic series, even though this is not the character expansion category. Now it's the character expansion category. So starting off at number 20, we have expanding the Yoshi series, or I guess just the Mario series. It's Yarn Yoshi. I'm pretty sure I said this in my last list, but I would like to see some kind of yarn or woolly representation. Even if it is Yarn Kirby, I'd be pretty happy with that, but Yarn Yoshi seems to be more of a go-to. Although Kirby does change its art style a lot, Yoshi does so even more so. And there is a new upcoming 3D Yoshi game. He's not in yarn form, it's more just generic and he's surrounded by cardboard, but I would like to see some more yarn representation. Number 21 comes from the Paper Mario series. Again, I guess it's really only expanding the Mario series, because Paper Mario hasn't really been expanded at all other than a single map level. But instead of going for the generic Paper Mario route, since we've already had multiple Marios in the past anyway, actually only one with Dr. Mario, but oh well, I'm thinking we make it Paper Luigi. It makes it a bit more outstandish from another Mario clone, as Paper Luigi could properly change into things more. This character would be more equipped with the hammer that we're known for, or maybe even the spring jump we get from Super Paper Mario, or even just like using stickers, or maybe not stickers, but maybe paint from the latest Paper Mario game. Or maybe they'll take mechanics from a future Paper Mario game that will be announced in a few days as well. It's my guess. Either way, I love Paper Luigi, he's the best paper character in the Paper Mario series, and I want to see some Paper Mario series representation in the Smash game. Let's make it happen, people. If Game & Watch can do it, Paper Luigi can too. Number 22 and 23 is the Zelda franchise. Again, there's plenty of characters in it, I know, but I want to expand to a little bit more of a side-on form of the Zelda series. I want to look at the latest Hyrule Warriors game, because in that we have a couple of characters that might not be too standard. Again, we could get the classic Lana look, which might be a bit more anime for Smash, but it's a new character for the Zelda franchise. Or we could also go with Linkle, a technically canonical character, Link in female form. Might simply be another skin again, but the fact that she's got crossbows could make her a bit more different to the classic Link we've already got. And actually, me just even suggesting Lana might actually extend this list to 56 characters. Do excuse me, because the other one I had was having back Tetra. We've seen Zelda in multiple forms, both in Hyrule Warriors and in Super Smash Bros. But how about a Zelda form that's literally the least Zelda-like Zelda character? Give me Tetra, damn it. Number 24 comes from the Donkey Kong Country series, expanding it even more than just two Kongs, and while most people might suggest Dixie Kong, I feel she might be a bit too similar to Diddy Kong, so I suggest Cranky Kong. Funky Kong again might be too similar to Donkey Kong, but Cranky Kong would definitely be different with his cane and bouncing abilities, and just the fact that he looks a lot different. It would work with the silhouettes and all that. Not that silhouettes are much of a focus point for Super Smash Bros., but you know what I mean. Number 25 and 26 are expanding the retro games aspect of the Super Smash Bros. Series. Each game generally seems to add a retro character, whether it be Game & Watch, Ice Climbers, Mega Man, or Pac-Man. This time I've got two more suggestions of what could possibly appear in the Nintendo game as its own little third-party thing. Number 1 is Bomberman. He's appeared for a good long amount of decades now, and he has appeared in a 3D format as well, meaning he could have the same kind of applications as Pac-Man did. Alternatively, to really go out there, similar to how Ice Climbers were only seen in 8-bit form beforehand, how about Dig Dug? Might be a bit gruesome to actually have characters physically inflate with the pump. I think it could just be a simple grabbing technique instead. Dig Dug could be another retro character that they expand into a new modern-day Smash style. Additionally, Dig Dug could just have a simple, archaic kind of moveset. While Game & Watch had Game & Watch specific movesets from his Game & Watch games, Dig Dug could have more generic stuff. I would suggest some, but I thought of it on the fly, so I can't. Number 27, we need more Sonic representation. We can't just live with just Sonic, and I don't just want a Shadow skin, so give us someone completely different. Tails might be a bit too bland, and Knuckles might be a bit too on the nose, so how about Amy? Again, bringing out hammer representation. I really like the idea of hammers and weaponry, apparently, but give us Amy Rose. I want to see some Amy Rose. Number 28, it has to be the Pikmin franchise. Gotta mention it somewhere in there, and I would like to expand it at least to the form of Alf. Give us some Pikmin 3 representation. While Olimar could have the old-style Pikmin moveset, Alf could come along with the new stuff. And actually, Alf has already made an appearance in Super Smash Bros. 4, so let's just say Charlie instead. He looks a bit more different. But you get what I mean? Give me the new characters and the old characters. Or if the Pikmin 4 is coming out, then give me a character from that. Oh, imagine if they announced Pikmin 4 through Super Smash Bros. That would be beautiful. Or if they just announced any game through Smash 4 first. Mwah. They'll probably do it the other way around, won't they? They'll release a new game and then say, oh, it's also in Smash. Haha. Anyway. Number 29 is from the WarioWare series. Everyone mentions it because why not? It's Ashley. We need more Wario franchise representation. There's plenty of characters there. Ashley is your go-to standout one. Though I really do like that disco dude. Oh well. Number 30, and the final one for our expanding characters one, is a bit of a weird one. We've already seen that Ryu can appear from the Street Fighter franchise, so why not expand that a little bit more? If that's allowed, why not give us Chun-Li? Since fighting characters are allowed now, I think it would be quite nice to have another one. Maybe. Moving on to our next category, it is the new series we haven't seen in the Smash Brothers games at all. And moving on with this whole fighter games are allowed now in this already existing fighting game, because I really wasn't expecting Ryu, how about we get a character from Tekken, since we've got a Street Fighter character now. The main protagonist in Tekken, or at least the main character, apparently is Jin Kazama. I don't know much about Tekken, but I suggest them. Get some more fighting crossovers in there. Or even, though it might be a bit of a stretch, what about some Mortal Kombat characters? Obviously not being as gory, but a bit more cartoony and fun. You could play with the Sub-Zero character and his iciness to add to the dynamic. Or alternatively, you could have Sonya. She's a bit more normal, but it would be a nice way to get another female character into the roster. And jumping another step ahead and leaning more towards the Capcom series of fighting, why not Okami from Okami? They are their own character now, they work as a nice dynamic, and since we're able to take fighters from other fighting games into this fighting game, Okami could work too, not as a fighting character, but as an actual established mythological Japanese character. Would be cool. Anyway, moving on from that tangent, I might have got my numbers mixed up if I ever said them, so I guess I'll just crop them out and cut this bit out too. Good job, me. Or not, it's the Kingdom Hearts series. There's a new Kingdom Hearts game, and Nintendo is doing good with their third parties, so why not have us a new Kingdom Hearts character? Whether the main character would be Sora or Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse might be really weird to see, but hey, that would certainly get people talking about it. It's an idea. It's a bit of a stretchy one, but we're getting to the end of the list, so things are starting to stretch. Next up, we have Crash Bandicoot from Crash Bandicoot. The new HD trilogy is coming to the Nintendo Switch, and they're a classic third-party character. I'd love to see Crash Bandicoot in Smash. You know what everyone's reactions would be. Whoa! Anyway. Number 38 is Travis from Travis Strikes Again. Everyone was crazy when this game was announced, and it's a new game for the Nintendo Switch. He's got an interesting moveset with how he's langly in the legs. He's like an alternative Bayonetta or something. I don't know much about the character, but it's a new series that could play to the Smash series nicely. Or not. Number 39, I'm pretty sure I recommended this in my last list, it's Dylan's series. I don't know if it's actually called Dylan's series, but Dylan from Dylan's series. Let's have some anthropomorphic animals in the game now. Number 40, we have Shantae from Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Again, trying to get some more female representation in the roster, since I think I've been listing a lot of males lately. Shantae would be a nice one. Third-party IP, appears in a lot of Nintendo games, was all the way back from the Game Boy, so why not? Number 41, by popular demand, is Shovel Knight from Shovel Knight, because they were voted. Wasn't that the whole ballots thing that was going on? They've got an amiibo now, they're well established in the Nintendo brand. Give us some Shovel Knight, man. And then make a funny advert between Shovel Knight and Cranky Kong, because they basically do the same things. They don't worry, I know that, but still. Going on to characters that were also originally established in the Nintendo brand, we have Banjo-Kazooie from Banjo-Kazooie. Made from Rare, but appearing in Nintendo games, and though it's more taken away into the Microsoft brand now, there's always a chance there'll be that crossover. Everyone might be trying to dip into the Switch a bit. If not, if Banjo-Kazooie cannot be a thing, how about Yooka-Laylee from Yooka-Laylee? That could work too, as again a duo character, similar to Duck Hunt Dog, who I also didn't mention in my retro series bit, but well, it has the same similar dynamics of having a flying character on the back and a general roly-poly guy on the front. That was a great description of the characters, but you get what I'm saying? Number 44, we are coming to the end of this list now, is a Lego character from the Lego series. Lego games have been through all of the Nintendo consoles, and it would be nice to see some Lego stuff. I basically say the same things, but it would be cool to see, especially if, and this might sound a bit gruesome, if we go into the decapitation kind of aspect. That sounds really weird, but like, if they die, their heads pop off. It'd be a fun little thing. Or even having it so that they can deconstruct as like their shielding, or they can construct stuff. You know, like, you press B to build your weapon up. Much like how Pac-Man builds up his weapon by holding down the B button, the Lego character could hold B to start building something that he whacks people with. It's an idea. Number 45 is another third-party randomer. It's Lara Croft from Lara Croft. If we can get Solid Snake, we can get the alternative Lara Croft. And I doubt we'll be seeing anything from Uncharted, so that's going to be my go-to. Next up, we have Spyro from Spyro. There's a new Spyro HD remake being made. Everyone loves Spyro. Everyone's talking about it. Spyro could work quite nicely. Again, it's an anthropomorphized animal. Spyro versus Dylan. I want to see it. Next up, it's another underrated series that I really do want to see more of from the Chibi Robo series. You know the one. It's Chibi Robo. Although, obviously, not life-sized. It'll be the same kind of treatment as Onima would get. And by that I mean a giant size boost. It'd be cool to see a running robot around in the roster, even though we've already got Rob. But you know what I mean? Even if they take the aspect of Ziplash with Chibi Robo using his plug as a weapon, it'd be new, it'd be different. We don't have a whip character yet. We've only really got Sheik. Number 48, coming from Dark Souls, is the protagonist from that. Are they just called the One, the Unnamed One, the Chosen One? They have an amiibo. They're a bit of a weird one. They can be toned down. They have taunts. Why not? We're getting more and more into the why not phase, but oh well. Up next, I've also got the Devil May Cry? The Devil May Cry series. The protagonist, Dante. I don't know what hair he's gonna have. That's basically the only trivia I know about him, but it could happen. Number 50 could also be from Dragon Quest Hero, the protagonist from Dragon Quest. They're getting... Did I say the Dragon Quest from Dragon Quest? Or did I say the protagonist from Dragon Quest? It sounds the same. The protagonist from Dragon Quest. They've got new games. They look cool, nice and HD, nice and cartoony. Could work quite well. Another RPG kind of style. Number 51, this is more of a why not than anything. The why not straight after this. From the Rayman series, it's Rayman. The main reason that I'm the most sort of iffy-offy about this is because Rayman doesn't have limbs. It'd have the same kind of treatment as wire form Little Mac, and I feel like he wouldn't be accepted in a lot of contests. But maybe for the casual player, Rayman could still be applicable. He's very established. And the final four in the why not section, because I felt a bit weird when I was writing these ones down as actual suggestions. Number 52 is from the Mario series, Birdo. It expands the Yoshi series as well, I guess, a bit. It's a character that plays in a lot of things, or could work quite well, would certainly work better than Spike. But yeah, I'm a little doubtful on that. I'm more for Waluigi and Daisy, but they seem pretty low as well, sometimes. They're so underrepresented. Number 53 is, again, going kind of into the fighter phase, and also games that appear in Nintendo consoles. Batman from Batman. There's a nice established Batman series, and, you know, Batman appears in... No, that's not Marvel vs. Capcom. DC... Justice League fight. You know the one? I was thinking fighting games and also games on the Switch. Not on the Switch, but just on Nintendo consoles. Batman fits the role, but Batman and Mario in the same game would feel really weird. Number 54, even weirder, is possibly Scott Pilgrim. I say that, also from Scott Pilgrim. I say that because the game's not even playable now. It's very much tucked away in Microsoft, and licensing seems to be a bit of a mess, but I'd like it. And 55 is, of course, you know the one. People have wanted it for decades. It's not gonna happen. It's the least likeliest thing on the list, but hey, why not? It's Goku. Anyway, that is my entire 55 possible more Smash characters. 56, I think, in the end, actually. All my numbers that I said were wrong. God damn it. Well, I guess I just won't have the number up on the video. Either way, that was my full list of a good chunk of new characters that could appear in the new Super Smash Bros. Game for the Nintendo Switch. We'll get plenty of reveals in a few days' time, and maybe one of those was right. If none of those were right, I'm gonna be well disappointed. But hey, we've got like another year and a half before the game will probably actually show up, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna go rest my voice and see if I can think of any more characters. I feel like I've failed myself by not putting it in this video, but otherwise, for now, this is a weird end. My name's been Daz, you didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit.